Welcome to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. Highlights, features, and analysis with men's head coach Otis Hughley Jr. and women's head coach Margaret Richards. And now, our host, Mr. Ted Dixon.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Alabama A&M Basketball Review with head coach Margaret Richards of the women and Otis Hughley of the men, who are practicing behind us. We're in the jewel of North Alabama, the event center on campus, and coach, another event center victory for the Bulldog women's basketball team.
Extremely exciting. It was a collective effort. I was proud of the young ladies. Got started off to, a little rough start, meaning that we looked a little out of sync. We had 10 days off, and that's how I kind of looked. But I was proud of them, though. They finished strong. Our guards did a great job. We had 3 guards in double figures. So that was really good for our team.
Amaya Simmons, Doria Burgeon, and
Kayla Turner.
Thank you.
Yes, Darian Bergen, yes.
And making that effort, Coach, 15, 15, and 14 points respectively, just getting that back. But if we look at the box score, Coach, it looked like the women were in control of the game the entire ball game.
Oh, yes, we was. I think it was the defense, too. I think we started off, we made shots, we found the open person, and the guards took what the defense gave them, so it was sharp. They were sharp. They came ready to go. They translated what we worked on in practice. We had, like I said, we had 10 days to prepare, so that was really good. They was rested. We just had to get used to getting up and down the floor again, but we was excited about that. But they took advantage of what the defense gave them, and we got stops when we needed to, and we had a, good victory. Came out on top. People
say, Coach, that a jump shot comes from your legs, shooting 43%, but after the 10-day layoff you alluded to. So why is it so important for student athletes to try to stay in shape during the break?
Oh, it's very important, and we made sure we got in the weight room too, because that was something that was important for us, because that's where your strength come in with the weights. It's very important. You got to everything comes from your lower body, and we preach that, and we tell them, being in a low stance, being able to explode up from low gravity to high gravity. So that's very important for us. So I always, we talk about that all the time, using your legs, the importance of that, importance of running, being in the best shape possible.
And talk to me about wearing out your opponents, your points in the paint, 32 in that ball game, Coach.
Well, we knew, I always talk to them about feeding the bigs and getting in the paint, and any shot in the paint is a good shot. I don't care if it's a quick shot, it's a good shot. So the team know that. We can go really quick, we can shoot the ball really quick, as long as that we shoot the ball in the paint, because they're my high percentage shots.
That's an inside-outside coaching philosophy, Coach.
Absolutely.
But some people still say shoot threes. But you're shooting about 33% of your three-point baskets. Is there ever any pull or tug or competition between let's shoot threes versus let's go to the paint?
Well, I tell them if we run a transition offense, and I always tell my young ladies, the guards, because they are in here working on their game each and every day.
Oh, right on.
So if they are open, they got the green light to shoot the three. But I always preach, we need to go inside out. If our post players got an easier shot inside, we need to get that shot inside first.
Does that happen especially on the fast break where you see a big get the rebound, make the outlet, then run the floor, and then get it?
We got to reward our big. She run the floor. We had an instance in the game where one of our bigs got a block and sprinted down and ran the floor. We got to reward her, So that's very important. You got to keep the bigs happy so we can rebound and, have an inside presence for us.
And speaking of keeping the Bulldogs happy, your road trip, as we alluded to in the last episode, now gets a little bit deeper, Coach. You've got to run out to Kansas City, then you got Chicago State, but you'll be going down there to the MTE Christmas Classic. Tell us about that.
Well, of course, we'll start off with UMKC in Kansas City, a very well-coached team. It's going to be a tough road challenge for us, and I'm excited for that, excited for that challenge and up for that. And then also we'll go down to some sunny weather when we go to Miami. We'll be able to compete against Chicago State, another talented team. The record doesn't indicate, their skill set. And, we also will be facing Texas State and FIU, 2 other tough opponents. So we got a nice, tough stretch coming up.
And speaking of record, Coach, you have a winning season so far, 4-3 on the season. The pre-season or pre-conference schedule has not affected you.
Well, I just think the girls and this staff has been doing a great job, my staff, with the scouting, with us preparing our players, getting them mentally and physically ready to go. and them just buying in and learning and getting better and facing adversity and being up for adversity. So I think that's what's helped us overcome some of our obstacles that we have faced throughout the non-conference season.
For a minute, Coach, talk about your coaching staff. You just mentioned them. Give us a little insight to how many coaches you have, what's their role, anything like that.
Okay.
First names will be fine or nicknames.
Well, I will start with Coach Mack. Coach Mack been with me the longest. Of course, it's my 8th season. He's been with me all 8 seasons.
Yeah, Coach Mack.
He's a defense guru, and we always talking about different ways we can go. He loves film. He loves just the analytics of the game. He's a stats person. So he brings that veteran / grandpa to the staff.
I gotta be grandpa. I can't just be uncle.
Yes, no, he's like the grandpa. So he's patient, he's poised, he's calm, and I'm a high energy person. So he brings the level and that balance to me. He does a really great job. He's a extremely hard worker. Then Coach K been with me for 8 years as well. She's our director of operations / GA / coach. She does.
Oh yeah.
She does it all. And I just want to talk about those two first because they've been with us. Been with me the whole ride. The whole 8 years. And then I have Coach Mary. He's new. He's a new guy on staff, and I've been knowing Coach Mary for over 15 years. And we had a great relationship. I've been knowing him since I've started coaching.
Oh, I know.
He's a veteran. He's a very, he had some great success at Grambling. Was Coach of the Year, won championships. So with that wealth of knowledge, the different things that he brings can really help us, get to the championship type level.
Especially in conference, knowing where all the thermostats are in the buildings when you go play on the road.
He worked at Jackson State, Grambling, and a lot, in the MEACs too. So he got a lot of experience.
And of course, preparing to look at your schedule, you mentioned Kansas City. That's on Thursday. Then the following week, the 18th, 19th, and 20th, we're down in sunny Miami, Florida. But Coach, realistically, and just set the expectation for those watching at home, how often will you even see the water?
Not often. Hopefully we'll take some time and get to enjoy it, maybe a couple hours. But I always tell the young ladies, we're gonna do some fun things, but it is a business trip. That is very, very important that we focus on, what we are set to do, and that is set to go down there and try to get 3 victories.
You heard it here first. This is head coach Margaret Richards of the 4-3 Bulldogs women's basketball team getting ready to go on the road. Coach, thank you so much. When we come back on the Alabama A&M basketball review, we'll take a look at the women's highlights from the South Carolina State game, and then you'll get in with a conversation with my Jersey guy, men's head coach Otis Hughley, here on the Alabama A&M basketball review with head coach Margaret Richards and Otis Hughley.
Parker is 29 and learning to communicate again. The students teaching him earn a degree with 100% job placement. But the real reward is changing a life. At Alabama A&M, it's a university where agencies actually go to recruit compassionate students who help themselves by helping others. Service is sovereignty at Alabama A&M University. Start here, go anywhere.
Engineering and science usually look like this, but our students build race cars from the ground up, explore wind tunnels, particle accelerators, and crystal growth. Our studies in cybersecurity and rocket propulsion have tech companies like Google and SpaceX recruiting at Alabama A&M University, with one of the highest percentages of women STEM graduates in the country. Alabama A&M University. Start here, go anywhere.
Good evening. Welcome back to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. This time we have with us head coach Otis Hughley. Bulldogs fell at home to UAB, coach. But we were just talking before we started the interview. Dalen Smith had 27 points tonight, coach, and you said he was not recruited in high school and didn't play AAU ball. You've had him for 2 years. How did that happen?
By God's grace. Because that's the kind of kid that he's a Scottie Pippen type. Meaning not as a player, but he was undiscovered.
Later
developed, and look what he turns into.
Dennis Rodman, late developer.
Look what he turned into. Well, this kid has that kind of work ethic. He's in the gym all the time. He's a high IQ guy. He's a great student and a better person.
8 of 14 from the field, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, coach. Y'all just kept feeding him, or did he just take it over?
Well, he let the game flow. He didn't try to, in the past, he would force the issue. Now he's learning to contextualize his gifts, play within the context of how we want to play as a team. And now he's learned it so well, he sort of gets 27 and you don't realize it until you look at the stat sheet at the end of the game. You go, wow.
Cameron Tucker came back. We didn't expect him to play, coach, but you got him on the floor tonight. What did he mean to the team?
Calming force. When he gets in shape and he gets his legs under him and his team gets used to him being there with them, and that substitution pattern starts to stabilize and shrinks to our 8 or 9, it's going to be pretty special.
Everyone got a chance to play tonight, coach. You said you like to play fast, up-tempo. People have to be in shape before you take off for the break, and we'll talk about your upcoming schedule. So a game like this at home, when you were tied at half with UAB, who we already knows outmanned us, but how did you get to be tied at half?
Well, we made very few mistakes, and we didn't turn the ball over as much. Okay, and we really stemmed the tide on them 3-pointers. The only reason it got tied because of their second chance points. Number 3 on their team, that 6'9" kid, he really was impactful. He stopped us from driving. He hurt us. We couldn't get second shots. He started that fast break. He was a really impactful force for them. You take him off the floor, it's a different game.
And of course, now your student athletes know what it means to be in the weight room and how to equalize that. Bulldogs only had 15 turnovers, so UAB's 21.
Which is really good. And I bet most of those turnovers came over in the second half.
When you played a lot of different your student athletes, trying to get different looks, give people some time against some good competition, and get them developed. Now, you told us, coach, you got 10 new ball players, 10 new student athletes on your team. For us to be patient, how are you going to stay patient?
Just a lot of, prayer from my grandmother that I can't outrun. And some yeah, some little cheering. God listen to cheering. Not the children, but you know what I'm saying, son?
Probably, son. Right.
Like, yo, grandma praying again? Thank you, Jesus.
All right. So we get that patience. Now, coach, let's talk about your upcoming schedule. This is like the holiday break for school, but basketball student athletes are on the road. What's your upcoming schedule going to be?
Number 2 scoring offense in the country is coming in on Saturday. UT Chattanooga, another NCAA tournament team. This team went to the NCAA, deep in the NCAA, maybe the Sweet 16 or the Final 32 last year. And it was 4 or 5 teams from their conference that did it.
Right.
And then now you got a team coming in tomorrow that did some of the same thing last year. UT Chattanooga, which beat this team, I think, or beat Lipscomb. So we're excited about the opportunity to get better against them.
You think about, coach, recruiting locally, and you just mentioned all the teams in this area in a 3-hour radius, so to speak. You're recruiting against, really, and you're coming out of Atlanta with a couple of good ones who are true freshmen.
Right. Who are getting baptized out here today, playing pretty well. But, they got to grow, and this is the only way.
So they're learning how to be college students and at the same time trying to learn how to play college basketball, coach. So now back to the praying part. How do you keep their spirits up, keep them competitive, don't get down on themselves?
You keep teaching, and you keep reminding them that the 3-time defending champ of this league barely squeaked into the playoffs last year and won it all. And then right now they're winless or they got one win. Nobody pays attention to that because they know that team will come back and draw on that meaningful minute and those experiences and come back and be very formidable.
Keep working your system, keep believing in your system, keep teaching. Now, if you would think about it, Coach, one thing that you want to see after the break, right before conference play starts, what would you like to see out of your team?
I like to see some of the things that we've been teaching start to materialize, start to come together. Morale is big. And they're very high, but you got to really coach that. You got to manage morale. You got to manage when they win, manage when they lose. Been a lot of losing, but it's not been a lot of useless loss. There's a lot of value in the losing that we've been doing.
Still being competitive for the entire 40 minutes.
Does it look like they quit?
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
These guys fight to the end, and that's really going to lend itself to their growth and development as well.
People say that a team takes on the personality of their coach. You trying to build an East Coast team out of Coach?
You know it, son.
Jersey, son, that's what we do. And of course, your coaching tree and what you know, we just have to trust the process.
That's right. Well, there's some other things I'm going to do. I just don't want to show them yet.
Right.
We're going to play a little faster than we see. But right now, you can't do it. You're going to get some real key people hurt.
Okay.
So you try to play as many folks as you can and learn all the nuances of executing in the half court and controlling every possession. When you control the possession, when it gets tough in postseason, it becomes a half-court game. Now you got some reference to draw.
Of course, Coach, we wish you luck on the road, traveling mercies. And folks, we thank you for watching this edition of the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. We're going on hiatus for a bit, but we'll see you back shortly. Look to aamusports.com for more information, especially the schedules and ticket information. You'll see the QR code at the bottom of the screen. Thank you, Coach, and thank you for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review with head coaches Margaret Richards and Otis Hughley.
Go Bulldogs.